Hi guys, my name is Maddie Lynch, and today I'll be discussing the Bernstein's model of motor learning and how we progress from clumsy and insufficient movements to smooth skill performance, and it's especially relevant when learning complex or multi-joint movements. So Bernstein was a Russian physiologist who asked a fundamental question: how does the nervous system control so many joints and muscles all at once? Each joint has multiple ways it can move, which we call degrees of freedom. For example, the elbow has 2 degrees of freedom while the shoulder has 6. See, that all adds up really, really fast. So this complexity is great for versatility, but it's a serious challenge for coordination. This challenge is also known as degrees of freedom problem. So stage 1 of degrees of freedom is the freezing. So in the first stage of Bernstein's model, the learner responds by freezing unnecessary degrees of freedom. This simplifies the task by locking or stiffening of the limbs. For example, beginners learning to throw a ball might only rely on elbow movement. Keeping the shoulder and wrist rigid is a protective strategy to reduce variability and make the task more manageable. Then there is stage 2, which is releasing degrees of freedom. So as your skills develops, the learner releases more degrees of freedom, allowing for more joint involvement and coordination. This stage supports more fluid and efficient movements and better transfer of energy across segments. For instance, in throwing, the wrist and shoulder begin to contribute, or resulting in increased speed and power. This stage is crucial for tasks requiring explosiveness or complex timing, like sprint starts or dynamic balance movements. Then there is stage 3, which is the exploiting passive dynamics. In this stage, the performer learns to exploit the body's passive dynamics, like momentum, gravity, and elasticity. Rather than working against these forces, skilled performers use them to reduce energy costs and maximize effectiveness. So movements become adaptive, efficient, and tailored to the environment. This stage is often seen in elite level performers where actions appear effortless even under pressure. How it ties to motor learning is the Bernstein's model reflects key motor learning ideas is aligned closely to the principles of practice. Learning is not just repetition, it's a problem-solving process. Each stage of the Bernstein's model reflects a shift in how movement is organized, refined, and adapted. With practice, performers gain capabilities, not just temporary changes, but relatively permanent improvements in performance. When it comes to relating it to class, so in class one day, Dr. Palazzolo had us draw the letter gamma with our dominant hand and draw the letter V with our non-dominant hand. And then we had to try drawing it with both hands at the same time. See, most people were struggling because their brain prefers to use one generalized motor program to coordinate both hands. So the experiment shows how bimanual coordination can be limited early in learning, but refined over time. Bernstein stages also relate to transfer of learning. In the early stages, transfer may be limited to restricted movement patterns, but as learners progress and release more degrees of freedom, their movements become more flexible and adaptable. This model also highlights the importance of task-specific practice, which we call the specificity of learning. Practice under conditions similar to the real-world task helps solidify these stages into long-term capability. Thank you.